Welcome back, everybody. So in this video, we're going to be discussing your post-secondary education, which is section 4, the FAFSA task. So the FAFSA is your financial aid application that helps with your with funding your college career. So let's get started. So financial aid. How do you pay for college? So you pay for college with financial aid through scholarships. You can work to pay for college or loans. So the FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. The FAFSA is needed to qualify for most funding sources, such as the Pell Grant, which is the maximum is $5,920, the Pell Grant A, B, or C, or the CHAFEE Grant. And the CHAFEE Grant is geared for those students who were foster youth after the age of 13, I believe. Don't quote me, but you can check that information out. And there's a website here, the California Student Aid Commission, to give you some more information about financial aid and funding opportunities for college. So the FAFSA application process. If you want any financial aid assistance, FAFSA submission is a must. Most funding is funneled through the financial aid application. You will need to submit your FAFSA for every school year. So every year you go to school, you're submitting a new financial aid application because income changes every year for most people, if not all. The deadline for the financial aid application is on March 2nd of every year, and there is a limit of financial aid that you can receive. So no more than 12 semesters, equivalent to 6 full years. So use your time and financial aid wisely when you're in college. So the first step for your financial aid application is applying for a federal student aid ID. An FSA ID is needed for both the student and one parent. What is needed for the FSA ID? You need your social security number. You also need your parent's social security number, date of birth, and valid email. So what is an FSA ID? It's an electronic signature. If you don't have a valid FSA ID, you will need to print out a signature page and mail it. Step 2. You're going to start the actual free application for federal student aid, FAFSA. For this school year, you'll be applying for the 2018-2019 application. So what does the student need? You need your social security number, and you also need your 2016 taxes if applicable. So if you didn't work in 2016, let's say you're a minor or you just never worked in 2016, then you don't have to have your taxes available because you don't have any. But if you have taxes for 2016, then you want to have those available when you apply for financial aid. So the first 3 sections of the financial aid are questions related to the student. Financial aid step 3. So the fourth section of the financial aid will ask information about your parents. You may be asking yourself, well, I'm 18. Do I still need my parents' information? You're going to fall under one of the 2 categories below. One, either you're a dependent student, meaning you will need parent information because you depend on their income, or you're an independent student, which you will only need your student information, student income, because you do not rely on parent income. So because you may rely on it or may not rely on it to your definition, you have to make sure that you are dependent or independent underneath the definitions and the rules of the financial aid application. So let's find out if you're a dependent or an independent student. So here are some of the questions that they ask you. So if you answer yes to any of these questions below, then you are considered an independent student and you do not need parent information. If you answer no to all of the questions below, then you are a dependent student and you will be needing parent information to finish your application. So dependent or independent. If you answered yes to all the questions in the previous slide, then you are an independent student and do not need parent information. If you answer no to all the previous questions in the previous slide, then you are a dependent student and will need parent information. Financial aid application step 4. So parent information. You will need your parents' 2016 taxes. If your parents are married, then you need both parent taxes. If your parents are not married, you only required to report on one of the parents. I always recommend that you use a parent that makes the least money so they can be qualified for the most amount of financial aid. Step 5, you're going to be filling in the school codes for the schools you wish to attend, then sign the application and submit. So I want to show you the 2 websites that you will be using for your financial aid application. We talked about your FSA ID, which is fasaid.ed.gov. This is the website you're going to be creating your FSA ID and the FSA ID for one of your parents. Now for the financial aid application, the website is FAFSA, which is FAFSA.ed.gov. This is the actual financial aid application, and you're going to be starting a new financial aid application there. You'd be entering your FSA ID information here that you should have created before you started the application, and you'd move on from there. So those are the two websites you're going to be needing to use to fulfill this area. You can look below in the description of the video to find the website links for these websites. So when you're done submitting your application for financial aid, you can submit your confirmation page. You can take a screenshot of your computer or wherever you applied, and you can upload that to your Google Drive folder. And you can also upload that into your financial aid section right there. Let's say you may be thinking, well, I'm not going to college, so I don't need to apply for financial aid. You still need to do one step to fulfill that requirement if you're not applying for financial aid. You're going to go ahead and create a new document, create and share. And you want to title this document FAFSA Steps. And you will talk about the steps on how to apply for financial aid. So you can refer back to the PowerPoint that I shared. So you want to say, apply for my FSA ID, and then go on from there. So you can refer back to the beginning of the video, to the PowerPoint presentation to show you the steps on how to apply for financial aid. You'd put that into this document, right? So remember, you always want to make sure you have a title, steps on how to apply for FAFSA. And then when you're done with that, you would upload that into the portfolio. And that is the end of this video.